Abdulla just flew in from Abu Dhabi. We're so excited to have him here in Bangkok. And as you all heard, we'll be moving our Skift Global Forum East to Abu Dhabi at the end of the year. So we hope you all show up there as well. And this is, you said by the end of this year that you will be at 8 Skift forums.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
I was not expecting to be on the stage before the 10th one, but thank you for the opportunity.
Anyway, David, you have some competition. There's more than one fanboy here. Let's get on to Abu Dhabi because it's such a special place. And it seems like each Emirates is known for something. But in my opinion, Abu Dhabi has really firmly planted the flag in and around culture. So tell us, how did that come about and why is that important?
You know, when we look at Abu Dhabi's tourism story, so many people don't know that such a story have started when the country was founded. Back in 1971, the first Hilton luxury hotel was built in Al Ain city. Think about it, 1971. And it wasn't just a hotel. The fact that it was the first concrete building in Al Ain, the fact that it had a swimming pool, the fact that it had an air conditioner, let's remember 1971. But more important than that, it was a mile away from Al Jahli Fort, which is more than a century-old building in Al Ain. So what it meant for us is, you know, from that early time, we are welcoming people to our culture. It was basically a message of easy access to the Emirati hospitality as well as the culture. Fast forward 50 years later, looking at our 2030 strategy, the culture is a central component of our strategy. Today, you know, being a tourism board, being the custodian of the culture, it's not an easy mission to basically preserve your Emirati identity and culture. What makes it even more important is how can we make that culture, the Emirati culture, relevant to today's dialogue and tomorrow's dialogue as well. And this is something you see a lot in Abu Dhabi. So the recent opening of Team Lab, it's bringing that Emirati identity and blending it with the Japanese influence. When you look at the Saadiyat Culture District, you know, the presence of the Louvre Museum, the Guggenheim to be open soon, and many other experiences is basically to show the Emirati experiences being blended with that global influence.
How many of you have been to Abu Dhabi? Okay, so that's a good showing, but not enough, obviously. So they'll come to our forum there.
Definitely.
You're all welcome. You know, so you're talking about the authenticity, the culture. I always thought of it as the most authentic of the Emirates. And you think about Southeast Asia, which I also think is a very authentic, rich experience culture. How do you see the two connecting? Like, do you think there is a relationship there?
A lot. I think there is a lot of commonality, especially in terms of shared value between Abu Dhabi and the Asia Eastern countries. And to mention a few of them, you know, we can see the intergenerational family deep bonding, something that you find in Asia as well as you find in Abu Dhabi. One of the things we also see is that respect toward the culture and heritage, something you see in Asia and something we see and value in Abu Dhabi. Many of these shared commonality is the basis for why so many of the Asians that come to Abu Dhabi, they enjoy that relationship. Today, when we look at, you know, Asia as a region, many people also don't know that the first trade partner for Singapore in the Middle East was UAE. Today, UAE is one of the largest trading partner for Singapore in the Middle East, in the region. So when we look at it from a strategy point of view, you know, I'm not surprised that Etihad is increasing its frequency to South Korea. They are flying to Osaka as well as Tokyo. They announced new destination in Indonesia, in Vietnam. It's just basically where we see the growth happening today. And when I look at it on the wider Asia, today, you know, Indians are the key source market for Abu Dhabi, followed by Chinese, and Japan and Korea are the market that we are developing today.
So when we're talking about this idea of culture, how does that manifest into the actual experience on the ground? How does it translate?
So today, 4 out of 10 visitors to Abu Dhabi, they chose Abu Dhabi because of the culture. And that's something we see in the destination visitor surveys. It's the experiences you find in Al Ain, it's the experiences you find in Al Dhafra. And I was listening earlier today to Michelle when she was basically talking about culture and growth. One of the reasons we wanted to promote destinations such as Al Ain and Al Dhafra, we wanted to basically, as part of the sustainable practice, we wanted to ensure that there is a shared and fair volume of traffic that goes toward the off-beaten track destination, being Al Ain and Al Dhafra. I would say the type of culture experience that you find in Abu Dhabi is even beyond just what you see behind a glass. Some of the experiences that I like the most is the festivals that we created in the destination. The Maritime Heritage Festival, which is sharing the story of how we are very rooted and connected to the maritime life and became the source of living before the oil was discovered in Abu Dhabi. Al Hisl Festival, which is one of my favorite festival in Abu Dhabi. Al Hisn is a word in Arabic that represents a tower. It was the only tower back in 1791, and it was basically created to basically protect the only source of fresh water in Abu Dhabi. Can you believe that? So today, such a site today is very symbolic. It shows you, it witnessed basically the development of Abu Dhabi. It was basically also the home of the ruling family today. So today when we have a festival in Al Hisn, the idea of the festival itself is first to preserve our culture and identity, to pass that intangible heritage to the next generation. So it's a place where you find the elderly as well as young people. And it's not exclusive only to Emirati. A lot of the visitor as well as the resident, they enjoy attending the festival.
Did you say it started in
1791?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long running festival. And so speaking of festivals, because I think that we're very focused at Skift on live tourism. That was one of the major trends that we talked about at the beginning of the year. And that's the idea of human connection. If we can, I just want to play a video that was directed by Abu Dhabi. So we'll go to that, and then I have a question for you.
We're made of passion, that raving side of us, that makes us go all out or all in. It bursts through our seams in some of life's most unlikely scenes. Sort of tugs at us like the perfect chord. When we're most alive, first instinct, second nature. Our very own solo act in a sold-out show. A gallery with no guidelines. You see, passion is the engine of this story. Our story. Abu Dhabi calendar. Passion is the occasion.
I love that. Passion is the occasion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the idea of the video itself is to show that live entertainment goes beyond just being events. It's creating that human connection that you find when you basically feel the beats of a concert in Abu Dhabi or anywhere else in the world. But more importantly, I would say why Abu Dhabi is focused on live entertainment. For us is we saw that passion coming from the local community, that passion toward attending a sport event. F1 is a very great example for it. F1 in Abu Dhabi was one of the first events that was anchored in the destination, a global IP. But look at it today. There is NBA, there is UFC, there is EuroLeague top 4 happening this month in Abu Dhabi, and many more to be in the destination. And beyond that, the strategy is to look at how Abu Dhabi can be a year-round destination. So not only having the big IPs, big events in the destination, but ensuring that whenever you come to Abu Dhabi, there is something for you to do. So having the theme parks in Abu Dhabi have supported such a strategy. Whether it's Warner Brother or Ferrari World or even Yas Water Park. And I recently heard that there is a certain mouse that popped up in the destination. So, we've been very, very excited about Disneyland coming to Abu Dhabi. It's a huge news. But for me personally, what make it even a bigger news, reading the details of the announcement itself, is that while Disney will work on that authentic design of the theme park, Miral Experience, Miral Group are going to ensure that there will be an authentic Emirati experience that people will experience when they are in the destination. That's the most important thing there.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's huge. And also the Sphere, right? The
Sphere, yeah. Sphere. For those, haven't heard this news, Sphere is going to have a twin, an identical twin in Abu Dhabi, hopefully around 2030. And it's again, focusing on live entertainment as well. It's combining both high tech with basically storytelling. When you merge these two and blend them together, the best place to showcase such a merge is Sphere Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, well done on that. You have amazing thought leaders here in the room. Just as we close, how can the industry work with Abu Dhabi?
I would say from what we've seen so far, it's an open invitation to everyone. Whether you have ideas or you work on visitor experience or you are in charge of any global IPs, Abu Dhabi is home for big ideas.
Excellent. I like that. On that note, we end, and thank you very much. Thank you for coming all the way here.
Thank you.